So you are in charge of the contact center.
I am, yes.
What's your full title?
So my official title is Sales and Services Team Lead,
Okay.
which is a very fancy way of saying that I look after the team.
You're the boss.
I wouldn't
Of
say
that
boss.
department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I get called all sorts. So boss, superior, senior, team leader, manager.
Okay.
So yeah,
And how many of those titles have you asked your team to give you?
none of them.
Oh, okay. So you'll do that all naturally.
Yeah. So they can just, call me Steve. That's fine.
Okay. And what does the contact center do?
So we look after any of the inbound calls that come in, and they can be from guests looking to book over the phone. So if they want to book at one of our wonderful resorts, they'll book over the phone. They can also ask like pre-arrival questions. So they may have a booking or they're looking to book. So we get everything and anything come into the contact center.
Okay.
And it is all over the telephone as well.
Wow. So and do you take calls yourself?
I do, yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. So when a call comes in, I guess you have to not judge, but make an assessment about the call as it's happening, like the person's tone of voice, the person's attitude, the words they're using. And how much of Away Resorts embracing everyone's strategy comes into play when you're taking a call?
So I think everyone is really natural when they're on the phones, which is really lovely. So we're not formal. We're very informal when we're talking to guests, because the guests that we have, they're everyday people.
Yeah.
So we can talk to them like everyday people. It's not like we work in a bank or we work in a solicitor's.
Yeah.
So it's people really servicing people, which is lovely. So guests that come in, they are 9 times out of 10 always friendly as well. And depending on what they're calling for, will then depend on how we'll sort of service them or deal with them.
Yeah.
But the contact center, the whole team are absolutely amazing. So the way they deal with all of the guests, doing that all through the day when you're constantly talking, especially when we're busy, they all do an amazing job.
Yeah.
And then whenever we are busy, I'll always jump on the phone and take calls as well.
Okay.
Because it's the fairest thing for me to
And when
do.
that happens, do you do like a Superman quick change? Is there like a music that plays, like a fanfare, confetti, so everyone knows?
So there isn't. I mean, I might implement that. So
I think you
yeah.
should.
I do have like a fan on my desk that I sometimes have, because the temperature in the contact center is very hit and miss. So it's either too cold or too hot.
Okay.
So whenever I put my fan on, I always tell people that I'm going into Beyonce mode, because what's through my hair. So yeah, me going into Beyonce mode, that's literally how they know that I'm just about to go on the phone or that I'm getting too warm.
Amazing. I love that. So you're in Beyonce mode.
Yeah.
Someone phones up and says, I want to talk to you about Sandy Balls. And you say, this ain't Texas.
Pretty much, yeah.
Done. Okay. So how long have you been at Away Resorts?
So I'm fairly new. So I started in October last year.
Okay. So coming into Away Resorts, how did you find the embracing everyone strategy? How did you just feel walking into that workplace with that attitude?
So I had a really good transition into the business before I even started.
Okay.
So I remember my manager, Harry Daniels, he had already contacted me just for an informal chat.
Right.
And the informal chat was really, really lovely and so natural. And it was literally just two people talking.
Yeah.
And you would have thought that we had known each other for years. So because it felt so natural and so comfortable, that already made me feel super comfortable coming into the business. And then when I come into the business, I always remember on my first day, it was something I'd never experienced anywhere else, because I felt like I was already here before I was even here. It was so bizarre.
What? How did they do that?
Yeah. So, and I had a upper hand because there were some people that I already knew here that I used to work with at a previous business. And they'd also spoken about me in a real nice positive light. So that also made me feel more comfortable. But it's one of the first businesses in a long time that I've come in and I knew 100% I could just be myself, like unapologetically myself. So
Wow.
I didn't feel like I had to hide anything or dumb anything down. I could literally come in and be who I am outside of work, inside work. So yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And how do you find that helps your work-life balance?
So it helps so much. So I think definitely growing up gay, I always knew that there was a part of me that I was hiding.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowing myself to be myself. So when you're going into a workplace and you then have to re-experience that, it isn't a work-life balance. Like, you need to make sure that you can 100% be yourself in the workplace. So it really, really helps that, you know, I am the same person in and out of work. So I don't have to put on a mask or put on a front when I come into the office.
Yeah.
Like, who I am in the office is the same as the person who arrives at the front of the building. So it's not like I leave anything at the door.
Yeah.
I'm 100% myself when I come in.
I mean, that's incredible, because that's what life should be like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We should be living to lead our lives the best way we can, not
Yeah.
like living to work and waiting until we leave the door. And that must also help when you're on the phones, because then your customers feel like they're talking to a real person, because you are being yourself, and being yourself is the most fundamental thing you can do in customer service. Because if I phone someone and I feel like they're reading from a script or they're going through the motions, I build that wall straight away. And this company is all about the customers, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's fundamental that they feel like they're talking to real people. Have you been to one of the parks yet?
So I haven't been to any of the parks yet.
Okay.
It is my intention to go.
Well, you've got to go.
Yeah, so I do want to go to quite a few of the parks. So I feel like I've already been at some of the parks because I'm very close to a lot of the parks and sort of their contact center managers, or like the like general sales managers that work on site. So it feels like I've already been there, and with the experience you get just from talking to guests and learning about the resorts, you already feel like you've got the upper hand for when you go to the park. Like, you would know your way around, and you know what to expect from each individual park. But I think one of the only reasons why I probably haven't been yet is only because I love the hot, warm, sunny weather.
Oh, great. Well, good luck.
Being in the UK, sometimes the weather is very hit and miss. Like, I absolutely think it's amazing with a lot of guests that we have. They love the park so much that it really doesn't matter to them what the weather's like. So that's the part of the park I really want to experience. Is, you know, it's literally a home away from home. That's what a lot of guests always say.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to experience that regardless of the weather. And I think if I got myself one with a hot tub, then I think I'd be all right.
Okay, so you don't ask for much on a holiday.
So
Just a hot tub.
yeah, a hot tub.
That's available, is it? There are parks with hot tub.
Yep. So all of our parks, there are loads of accommodations that have hot tubs. And the hot tubs always sell out really quick. But yeah, they're always very, very popular. And, you know, I think, to be honest, I am looking at doing something different Christmas this year. So I think going to a resort for Christmas and actually spending Christmas Day in a hot tub, drinking Prosecco in the morning, that sounds like a perfect way to start my
That
Christmas
sounds
morning.
delightful.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely beautiful.
So-
I have heard from a previous interviewee that Sandy Balls is gorgeous at Christmas.
Yeah, so Sandy
So-
Balls is meant to be lovely. Tatchell Lakes as well. They go all out for Christmas. So
Oh, exciting.
yeah.
And does it get busier at Christmas in the call centre?
So
Contact centre,
it does get busy. Yeah, you can call us a call center. It's okay. So so Christmas is one of our busier periods because we have a lot of guests calling who are looking to book events or wanting to understand what's happening on the park. So a lot of our parks, we have like Winterfest. So there's lots of different activities happening through Winterfest, and we have a lot of guests who are then trying to book last minute for either Christmas, or the most popular one last year was people trying to book last minute for New Year's Eve.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, who hasn't got New Year's Eve plans already sorted?
Yeah.
Crikey, it wouldn't even occur to me to go to a holiday park for
No.
New Year's Eve, actually.
So it wasn't until I started working here, like me and some of my friends, we meet every year without fail for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But it's generally a house party. And I then have suggested to them about actually going to one of the resorts and having one of the lodges or a cabin with a hot tub to then celebrate New Year and bring New Year in style. So it sounds like a nice way, because it also means it's not someone's home, so no one is responsible for sort
No
of
one has to do the
thing.
tidying up.
Yep.
But I'm
So-
sure they'll appreciate if you do a little bit.
Yeah.
So you've just said something really interesting, that you like this company so much and that you're willing to share it with your friends.
Definitely, yeah.
That's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's one of the companies where I talk about it all the time. I probably drive my friends insane.
Okay.
But I always talk to them. So whenever they're like, oh, I want to do something over the weekend, I always suggest going to one of the parks, because it is something that, you know, you can book last minute. There's no sort of set day arrivals. So if you're looking to go tomorrow, you can go tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not like you always have to check in on a Friday.
Yeah.
And yeah, the parks are absolutely beautiful. And I think it is something different. And every park is very different as well. So I know that one of my friends has been to Mercer Island, which is just near Essex.
Yeah.
One of my friends has been to Tatchell Lakes. One of my friends has been to Clumber Park. So some of my friends have already experienced the parks.
So actually, your friends are doing better than you.
They've all said, like, why have you not been? Why have you not been? So yeah, but I think for me as well, you know, I love what I do here. So I want to only take time off when it's sort of necessary, like when I need time to refresh and recover. But I think next time I know a long bank holiday weekend is coming up, I might then look to go away to one of the resorts.
I think that's a really good idea. If your friends are recommending it,
That's it.
and I don't want to make assumptions, but I feel like you've probably got quite a diverse group of friends as well.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're all going to your places of work and telling you, this is amazing, it says a lot about how the diversity and inclusion here in the office is being translated into the work that's happening on the parks.
Yeah.
Because the sense I'm getting is that if everyone's happy in the workplace, the customers they're just going to be happy.
Yeah.
Because they're dealing with people who are comfortable. It's really interesting. I feel like that there's no blurred lines between your work and life, because it's just a through line. And I feel like that's extending from here to the parks as well. So that's really incredible.
Yeah, I think the way I was embraced by the company as soon as I started, that goes throughout the company.
Yeah.
Like every individual is embraced, like regardless of who they are. And it's nice to have that encapsulated in the contact center as well.
Yeah.
So we love talking to all of the guests, whether they are currently on park or whether they're looking to go to a park, whether they're looking to book. And we do have like every single question you can think of. So we work with a trans community, and every year they go to one of our parks.
Wow.
And they are fully celebrated. It's something that they can book in advance. It's something that our wonderful groups team look after. And it's something that was extremely popular last year. And it's lovely highlighting to my team. So we have this event coming up, and this is what it's all to do with, because I also am getting to sort of educate and raise awareness with my team about other people in sort of a more diverse or inclusive culture. And it helps them to understand more about other communities. So yeah, it's really rewarding to have something like that.
So as the lead of the contact center, you're also actually taking the diversity and inclusion by the horns and going for it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think being a manager as well, you know, you have to have a genuine love for people.
Yeah.
And you need to really understand that everyone is an individual. So if I tried to manage my whole team in the same way, it just wouldn't work. And that's not how I've ever managed. Instead, I really like to get to know the individual, so I know how to get the best out of them as an individual. And then I think that really helps them also see, when you're dealing with an individual guest, they are an individual. You know, it's an individual family, an individual group, an individual couple.
Yeah.
So they should be treated as individuals. They can't be put into the same box as the last family you spoke to, because they're going to be very, very different. So it's nice that, sort of that love and true passion for people, and really helping people understand that you are an individual and you're okay to be an individual is really rewarding. That's what I love about what I do in the contact center. So
I think that is a beautiful place to end that. Just celebrating us all being individuals. That's incredible. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you very much. Thank you.